loads of emotional wounds. And she puts herself in and she helps them move through these wounds. I was watching a program last night, and sometimes it was so intense. I could feel my body was reacting to it, and I could feel my tummy sometimes getting tight. I'm like, oh, this must be hitting a nerve somewhere, because it's, whoa. Things like this, and I advocate this actually. She had one room in this house, all these women were doing their work together. She had a room called the Whack-It room, where she had, hanging from a chain, a bag that a boxer would use to work out with. And then she had these plastic kids' bats. And she had the people, she says, you've got to get this out, because so many of these women couldn't even speak. When the women would hit up against their emotional baggage, the first response was, can't do this, I'm out of here. All right, but it was with this, I can't do this, I'm out of here. It was with this wall. She's like, no, beloved, come on. She calls everybody beloved, she loves everybody, I'm here with you, come on. They start to hit the bag. She said, use your words, get it out. So they start to hit the bag. And you can see the hesitancy, you can feel it, right? You kind of feel the hesitancy, like, I don't want to do this. And she would just love them and hold them, and pretty soon you'd see these women just hitting this bag and getting it out and naming their baggage. And a lot of these women, it was because they had been abused. And as they were getting it out, and she says, get it out. And then pretty soon they would start to cry. And that means the release is coming. Oh my gosh, and the reason I'm sharing with you is because I know that as we're waking up and growing up and cleaning up and showing up, there's that very real human that also has to be dealt with. So we don't ever want to sugarcoat it. You know what I wanted to say instead of caca, right? Michael would tell me a bad word. We don't want to deny that either. So make sure that as we're waking up, growing up, cleaning up, and showing up, that we have people that we can go into the Whack-It room with. Somebody who will hold you and not judge you while you do that. Somebody who you can just say the worst of the worst and they will not judge you. Make sure you've got those people in your life. And I'm going to say to you that I'm one of those people. If any of this is touching a nerve in you and you feel like, well, I need to do that. Now, I don't have a boxing bag and bats sitting in my room, but I can certainly be a really good leader and a non-judgmental place. Because we have to let that stuff out as well. So I share it because I'm very aware that the emotional baggage is like, we may want so much to transform our world. We want to know we're a child of God. We want to make a difference in the world. And oh, by the way, there's that baggage. If we don't heal some of that, we're not going to help anybody else, much less ourselves. So it's important that we acknowledge it, heal it. Iyanla said, hurt people, hurt. You can see it, and you can see the way it gets passed down. One person grew up and their father wasn't there for them, so they have all this anger towards that father, and then they have a kid. And what happens? The husband or the man abandons the child. The cycle just keeps getting repeated. And so we want to end that ourselves. We want to be the one that wakes up, grows up, cleans up, and shows up. All right? So they're not mutually exclusive things, is what I'm trying to say. Sure, you have ways to heal the emotional wounds. And then come back, always come back, to remember who you are. You are a child of God. I'm going to give you Ernest Holmes' words. I'm going to give you two places. He says, so close is the union of creation with the Creator that it's impossible to say where one begins and one moves on. I'll say that again. Take it in. This is you and me. This is us. So close is the union of creation with the Creator that it is impossible to say where one begins and the other moves on. And then this one goes with it. Until we awake to the fact that we are one with God, we shall not find the way of life. Remembering who we are, we're awaking to the fact that we're one with God. We're one with the Creator. But the Creator didn't create us and leave it. We are so one with it, we cannot tell where it leaves off and we begin. What a beautiful idea to take home. There's nothing else I would like you to take that home today. As Ross sang in the song, it has to start on the inside. True transformation comes from the inside. And I want to say this other piece, so come over here with me for a minute. Because as we're trying to make this world a better place, we need to release fear, anger, and righteousness. We're going to go all the way back 2,000 and some years ago to a teacher that we all know is a very wise man named Jesus. He said, you have heard it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. That was the Jewish teaching. That was the Semitic law of the time. And he said, but no, I say to you, if someone hits you on the right cheek, turn also the left cheek. People have misunderstood that, thinking that Jesus was saying you should be weak. You should be weak and let someone just beat you up. You know? What he was saying, the turn the other cheek, is an Aramaic idiom. And that Aramaic idiom means don't make it worse, don't retaliate. Basically, nip it in the bud or take the wind out of their sails. It's kind of an idea. Don't retaliate, don't make it worse. It doesn't mean let them hit you, let them beat you on both sides of the cheek. It just means don't retaliate. All right. Woo! When we look at the world, what do we see? A whole lot of retaliation. That's what war's about. That comes from fear and anger. Being able to turn the other cheek is the strongest stance I can think of. Because if you come at me with some kind of verbal or physical abuse, and I'm not going to retaliate, oh man, I have to be standing in my strength so good, not to just go, well, you too, right? Because isn't that the natural we want to lash out? No? So to stand so strong in that, what we're practicing in that moment is non-resistance. We're not resisting what's coming at us. Sometimes I imagine that it's flowing past me. So if somebody's spewing their crap at me, if I can imagine that, let it move past you, over you. Don't let it land on you. That's what I think Jesus was teaching. Turn the other cheek. Don't let that land on you. Okay, now that's you individual. It has to start with me. If I can't do it, how do we expect the world to do it? If us as individuals can't do it, how do we expect war to stop? We all want war to stop, but everybody else says you started it. You see? So Jesus was really wise in that. Don't retaliate. Don't fight back. Stand in your truth. What is your truth? Well, he would say, the Father and I are one. And it's true of you. Let's just say it a little bit differently. Right where I am, the source is. All that I need is right here. I have that choice moment. And believe me, I get triggered too. I can have that feeling of right back at you. But I'm aware that it doesn't ever work. And I just keep saying, here's me, and then here's the whole picture. And then here's me, and then here's the whole picture. I'm part of the whole picture. So I want to practice it. Something comes at me, you practice non-resistance. Let me remember who I am. Oh my gosh, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's important. So we each make a difference then. When we think about peace in the world, we've got to be modeling it. Turn the other cheek is not weak. Turn the other cheek is a very strong, I know who I am. I'm a child of God. And I'm going to stand here. Let this person do their dance. But the thing I know is that when you don't fight back, there ain't no fight. All right, so I want to kind of end up with this, leaving us with that we don't need to fight. We can remember who we are. We can know that our personal transformation, which is an inside job, is making a difference to the whole. We can wake up, grow up, clean up, and show up, all the while remembering who we are. It's all very, very important. And I'm going to finish with words of one of my colleagues who I happen to adore. His name is Reverend Jesse James. In the October Science of Mind magazine, in his Q&A column, which is my favorite, I'm going to read you this, and then we'll go into prayer. The question is, how is it possible to remain optimistic with all the terrible things happening in the world today? You ever asked that question? Here's his answer. There's only one way that I know of personally and trust absolutely, and that is to create and maintain a regular spiritual practice for yourself. Whatever religion you practice, use its prayer forms. And if you're comfortable doing so, use some forms from other faith systems that cause you to feel lighter. Engage in ritual if you like, or just sit calmly in the silence to